happy Friday. It is November 17th, and this is Jody. And welcome to my Astro podcast, where I give a weekly astrology report from all the astrologists that I watch and listen to. I am a self-taught astrologist. I've been studying it for about 30 years. Welcome to my weekly podcast. Astro Podcast is filmed on Studio Cloud9. Astro Podcast is produced by Power Boots, LLC. So this week we have a Mars Cazimi, which I was speaking about last week. The Cazimi means in the heart of the sun. And this week, Mars enters the heart of the sun. And it's a very detrimental thing for a planet in terms of it saps its energy. But when it comes back out on the other side in a couple of days, a week, I believe, it is stronger, more powerful. It's been rejuvenated, purified, like the phoenix rising out of Scorpio season comes Mars. And Mars takes 2 years to go around the Earth. So it spends about a month and a half in each sign, sometimes longer when it is retrograde. It'll spend about 6 weeks in the sign. So with Mars and the sun meeting up, our egos, our deep personal intentions that we want to manifest are being highlighted. We are digging deeply, as I've been speaking about in this Mars season, which is super intense. And if you thought it was intense before, it is now super, super intense. It is at 25 degrees, Mars Cazimi, meeting up with the sun on the 17th and on the 18th for Europe and Asia. It'll be happening on the 18th early morning. But for us over here in North America and the Pacific and all that, it's going to be on the 17th. And after Mars Cazimi, where Mars goes behind the sun and loses any light that we can see, it has a meeting with Neptune, who is getting ready to wake up in Pisces on December 4th, I believe. With Neptune meeting up with Mars and the sun, Neptune is saying that a lot of what your actions or what your motivations are may not be what you thought. It may not work out. You might have misjudged, because Neptune can fog things up where you can't see unless you have glasses on. You have to really take your time and be careful with, and that's going to be supported by the moon, who is in Capricorn during this time as Mars and Scorpio meet up. The moon is going to also have a conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn. Capricorn's an earth sign. It's friendly to Scorpio. It's only 2 signs away. Also occurring today after the Mars Cazimi with the sun meeting up with Neptune in Pisces, the moon in Capricorn will conjunct Pluto, that is also in Capricorn, in its very last degrees at 28 degrees, where it just woke up a little while ago, last week or week before. So when the moon conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn, we are also, again, emotionally, we're being tested in terms of our work and our ability to release and let go, because Pluto is here to change things up in terms of decay. So our emotional landscape is again being challenged to be purified. There's a lot going on tomorrow, personally and collectively. And the next big thing that's going to happen is that Mars is now into its 2-year cycle. Now our goals are being initiated into our personal goals, and we need to stay clear, have clarity. Mars is at 23 to 26 degrees in this 2-year cycle initiation period beginning. And what that means is if your degrees are within 26 and 23 degrees of Scorpio Mars or Sun or Moon or anything that you might have in Scorpio, it's going to be more prominent and powerful for you. And you can look up your degrees on a chart by going to astro.com, and they'll ask you for what kind of chart you want. And just use a default chart if you don't know how to really read your chart yet, but you can still get things out of it and start looking at your degrees if you're interested in any of that. If not, connect with me and I can help you learn a little bit more about your degrees. As I'm learning, I'm probably considered a intermediate astrologist in terms of a lot of my reading and the way I look at charts and stuff. I use a bunch of different tools, and then intuitively, what I feel, what I sense from talking to you, what it is you're looking for, I can help you with that. So please give me a call. I'm open for consultations. 30 minutes. I'm offering $10 special right now. It's usually $20, so it's a 50% off. So you can connect with me here on YouTube, leave me a message, a comment. You can connect with me on Instagram also. I have a page there where you can connect with me, astropod_cast. And I am Jody Boots, at Jody Boots. I'm also on Twitter. What else is happening? When I'm reading these charts and I'm looking at what the astrologers are looking at, the sense that I get from all of it is that it is exactly that time that we've been discussing about the Civil War, World War II area. But the other thing that has come up, the mapping of energies, is that this is also during the time when the Scorpio Mars cleansing happening for the next 2 years and reestablishing our purpose with Neptune here fogging things up. It seems that we are heading to repeat past mistakes that occurred during these other times, as the Civil War and also World War II in America. It would be really great if we could just not think about it. Like when we were growing up, we really didn't think about politics as much as we do now, because now it's a big deal. Much more so because we're all connected globally. So with these transits, it's going to ease up in terms of, as the week goes on, the moon in Capricorn shifts to Aquarius and things lighten up a little bit. We're detached already with the moon in Capricorn here. But meeting up with Pluto is going to make it intense. So can't get away from the emotions right now being in Scorpio season. It's just the way it is. I feel that the only way to really stop any of this stuff happening is to re-elect new representatives of the House, new representatives from your area. That's a true vote right there. And we can get together and vote locally, think globally, act locally. If we can get out and vote during these primaries coming up, we could help to stabilize the country. Because as we can see, we all want the same things. We all want our children to be happy, grow up, and get educated, and go out in the world and live and just be big, happy family, right? And again, I know everything isn't always rosy, but we can try, right? We can really, really try. And there's some stuff happening next week. As we head into Monday, we will still be feeling this transit for a couple days because it is a serious, serious transit at the end. And one of the big things is that this is a Scorpio rising day, where if you're born on the 17th in America, this area, and if you're born on the 18th in the morning on the opposite side of the world, you would be a Scorpio sun and moon with the Scorpio rising. So that's how intense that is. If you want to understand how intense someone could be that looks like that, would be Joaquin Phoenix. He is a sun in Scorpio and he has Mars in Scorpio. And when you look into his eyes and his life, you can see he's had a very intense life path so far, and he's able to release it in his art as an actor, in order to not get too intense and crazy. And you know, because when you have these types of energies, you're here to do something, you're here to teach, you're here to show, you're here to help, because it's so intense. And if you grow up with all this intensity like I did, it helps to see how that eventually, when you can control things, you do control things, and you understand that you don't like chaos. So, uh, let's see what else is going on. So the new start is going to be, according to some astrologers, a lot of masculine energy. Mars is in its home sign of Scorpio. It's super powerful and happy. And then the moon meeting up with Pluto accentuates that stubborn energy, because, again, this is a fixed emotional sign. So there could be a lot of fixed energy going around and not easing up any tension. But the good news is that next week on November 22nd, um, Sun moves into Sagittarius next week on the 22nd. The Sun moves in Sagittarius. We'll be thinking more big picture. And then on the 24th, when I'll be back again next week, Mars enters Sagittarius, and we get a wanderlust, a feeling of needing to get out and be adventurous. And we'll be able to release some of these deep, stuck, cobweb emotional things that we've been dealing with as we head to Sagittarius season. And Sagittarius is going to be all beautiful and, I don't know, gorgeous. So we'll talk about that next week. But it is going to help us feel more optimistic, more free. And so in that way, it is good. So, you always can use the good too, right? On the 18th of the Mars Cazimi, when it kind of still is, you're still feeling it on the 18th into the weekend, that Saturday, and last that weekend until Monday, Tuesday. Mercury, which is in Sagittarius, is going to square Pluto, who is in Capricorn. So Pluto has a lot of meetings here in terms of really wanting us to understand that we must shed old ways. They're no longer good for us, and we can't shed them. We can't purify. We can't take care of ourselves properly. It could bring us problems next year when Jupiter heads into Gemini and Uranus starts to move into Gemini, and all the other planets start to shift. There could be a lot of energy there that we could control now through having good health, so that we can mentally handle what's going to happen to us. One of the big things I wanted to talk about was that how Uranus being very active, and we spoke about this last week, how Uranus is being very active, and the fact that it's in Taurus, which is an earth sign, and Jupiter's there, and Jupiter is getting ready to wake up. Iceland is already starting to have volcanic activity. They're already starting to leave Iceland because of it. So these are the things that astrologists are really saying about next week, is that after this Mars Cazimi, other things start to make up, like Pluto and then Jupiter. Pluto's already being active and starting to really move. And Pluto doesn't have to move too much to activate things on the earth, cleansing itself, right? And so really beware, especially on the 22nd, when the sun shifts into Sagittarius and Mercury has that kind of tension with Pluto, and Neptune's involved. Things could get blurry. You can have expectations. It may not go like you want. I know it's a holiday. Maybe Wednesday you're on a plane, you're going somewhere, and there's bad weather and it's canceled. Be prepared for unexpected things like that happening, because we are in that season of the rain turning into sleet, possibly. The weather changes on a dime. The other day it was 71 degrees here, and now it's like 60, and the other day it was 30. So this is that time of the air fluctuation happening, and all the heat and the moisture coming up right now. So be really careful. And again, I want to pray for everyone. Bless you. I hope you haven't suffered anything this week. And if you did, bless you, bless you. I wish for war to end everywhere on earth and have peace. Thank you for coming here and visiting and listening. Please subscribe. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that's talked to me about this. Thank you very much. I'll be back on the 24th. It'll be Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So I may just do a little quick clip there, not like this. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to be at my son's house, and I'm very excited. I wish you happy Thanksgiving this week. Happy birthday also to my life partner as we head into the cusp of Scorpio and Sag. It is called the cusp of revolution. So that's what next week is about, the cusp of revolution. And as we can see, there is definitely a revolution happening in the world about everything, right? And that's good. Like cleaning up the plastic in the oceans would be a great idea. Everyone getting along would be a great idea in our government, so that they can serve us and help us with what we put them in there to do. Okay? Thank you. I will be back. I appreciate you. Love you. Thank you. Peace.